Hey divas, get into it. New location. Welcome back to the KOBLIZZY show. My name is Kobe Warner. So, some of you might have noticed there was no episode last week, and I didn't even mention it. Not on Instagram, not on nothing. I did make an episode last week. I taped the whole episode. I basically edited all of it, but it wasn't ready by Tuesday or by Monday when I'm supposed to upload it. So I was gonna upload it late, but then I had a family matter that kind of took over my mind for a couple of days, and so I didn't end up posting it. But I actually am gonna post it maybe as like a bonus episode this week. So I don't know what day it's gonna come, but you can just follow me at KOBLIZZY on Instagram or Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I am now on Twitter at KOBLIZZY. You can also follow me on TikTok at KOBLIZZY. That actually segues perfectly into the next thing that I want to talk about. You might have seen a TikTok or an Instagram reel that I posted saying that I was going to have exclusive at KOBLIZZY show accounts on both of those platforms. But sometimes I get a little overzealous and sometimes I take on more than I can handle. And right now the KOBLIZZY show is a one-person operation. As long as that's the case, frankly, I'm going to run one Instagram account. So you can follow me at KOBLIZZY on Instagram. You can actually follow me at KOBLIZZY on TikTok, my original TikTok account. I haven't posted on it for almost a year because I got locked out of it and I had too many community guideline violations. But I worked with TikTok and I begged and I got my account back. So I'm going to post on that account all my content. You can follow me at KOBLIZZY on TikTok, at KOBLIZZY on Instagram only, not at KOBLIZZY show. We're not doing that right now. Once I have a PR team and a social media manager, you betcha. But until then, absolutely not. Now I want to talk about the song of the week. This is literally my favorite part of every episode. I love it, and I am still in a Renaissance mood, bitch. My song of the week is Heated. Listen to Heated. It is so good. It is so good. It actually is one of the songs on the album that had a scandal. Beyonce used a word that is considered an ableist slur, but once her team got wind of it, they informed her and she took it out, and I think that's a great move, and I respect her for doing that, and I absolutely understand where all the offended people are coming from. And actually, Drake is a co-writer on the song. I love that song. It's like my favorite song from Renaissance right now. First it was Alien Superstar, then it was Cuff It, now it's Heated. I love Heated from Renaissance. If you haven't heard the album, listen to it. I am a Renaissance unpaid promoter. I absolutely love it. And now we're going to get into the topic. This is like Hannah Montana. I'm talking about relationships this week, both platonic and romantic. Because both relationships are very important to life, and both are a part of life, a big part of life, and they impact us, both of them, most of us, every day, in some way, shape, or form. The episode of the pod that I recorded and made for last week was actually talking about kind of relationships indirectly. It was talking about my worst breakup by way of my EP Aftermath, because that's what my EP Aftermath is about. This isn't going to be about that. This is going to be about relationships as a whole, both platonic and romantic. And I'm going to start with platonic, and I'm very excited to talk about this because there's a lot of really special things happening in some of my closest friends' lives right now. My very best friend, Jack, is moving to college. So is my friend Zaria. And I'm so excited for them. They're moving to college for the first time. I remember my dad and I flying up to Boston when I moved in college the first time. And it was a really special moment for me. And I still remember it very well. And I actually had a song come out on the same day. So that was kind of cool. Jack and Zaria, I'm just so excited for them. Jack and I have a lot of history. And I wrote down a lot of moments. And I verified with him some of the moments so we could, get a well-rounded perspective. Because I think Jack and I's friendship is probably my most eventful one. There's a lot that has happened to us over the years. So our first encounter was doing a show at a community theater in my hometown in the summer of 2016. I actually don't remember. I don't remember Jack from that, but he always brings that show up. I don't remember him from that show because it had like a two cast situation. It was like double casted. And so he was on the other cast. And so I really don't remember him from that. But the first time I remember meeting him was in 2017, my sophomore year of high school, when we did Bonnie and Clyde. Him and his mom came to see our show, and Jack and I took a picture. That's when I remember Jack from. When he came to high school, I was a junior. He was a freshman, obviously. Instantly, we hit it off. We were great friends. And so there was this one time, actually my senior year of high school, that I had just started driving, and I was leaving the school parking lot with Jack in my car, and I wasn't supposed to have Jack in my car yet. actually, because it was before like this, I think it was 6 months or 9 months or something. It was before this date, but I had Jack in my car because we were going to a board meeting for the drama club. It was so important and I needed to be on time. So Jack and I are in the car, and of course, "Cause I Love You" by Lizzo is playing. And it's like, ba, 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 ba. And I'm just like rolling out the parking lot, and I look to my right, and I get, boom, T-boned on Jack's side of the car. And it's like, ba, 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 crash, if you know the song. It was ridiculous. The reason I got T-boned, but it actually was my fault because I was driving the wrong way on a one-way, and I didn't know. So there's that. It was my fault. The policeman was pretty nice. I got my car fixed. But Jack was there, and he was actually on the side of the car that got hit. So that was like not great, but he was fine. It was okay. The window did break though, I think. That was kind of scary. But yeah, that's one of our wild memories. There was also this other time that Jack and I were at Olive Garden with some of our other friends, one of our many friend groups. Jack and I, as a unit, me and Jack, travel through many friend groups. We go all over the place. There was this one time we were at Olive Garden. Jack was eating like macaroni and cheese or something. I was eating spaghetti with just red sauce because I was vegan at the time. I wasn't gluten-free yet. So I was eating spaghetti with marinara sauce, just regular old spaghetti. And Jack stuck his fork that he was eating his mac and cheese with into my spaghetti because he wanted some. But he didn't ask me. And he also like was using a fork that had cheese on it when I was a vegan, which really pissed me off. And I was so mad about that I got up, I think as soon as I paid, went to the car, and then I think I dropped everybody off. Anyway, none of this matters. What matters is that I blocked Jack because of this. This is so high school, I know. Instagram, Snapchat. Oh, and his phone number. I blocked his phone number too, so he couldn't reach me. And so he had to email me an apology for this event. And he titles the email Sowy, S-O-W-Y. The email reads, "Hey, Kobe. I know that you were very upset with me, that my actions were very uncalled for, irresponsible, immature. I could list so many adjectives. I am so sorry for what I did. I know you're vegan and my mac and cheese was just so gross that I wanted some of your vegan spaghetti. But I hope you find it in your heart to unblock your dear friend, Jack Slade. I hope we rekindle this friendship by Halloween so we can have a very eventful Halloween. If not, I hope you make it far in life. Love, the Jack Slade." This is so funny to me, and I was such an ass. I responded, "Jack, I accept your apology, but I suggest that you never get between me and my food ever again." That is such a funny moment in our friendship, because honestly, I was so mad at the time, but in his apology, that was like a genuine thing, but in retrospect, it is so funny, and I just love that happened between us, because it's such a great story. But that blocking shit was so high school. We don't do that anymore. Jack and I are besties until the end. When I speak about Jack, somebody who I met when I was in middle school, even though I don't remember it very well, there are all these other childhood friends, like my friend Alicia, who I met in the 6th grade, my friend Skylar, who I met in the 6th grade, my friend Renee, who I met in the 7th grade, who lived right down the street from me for like 6 or 7 years. And I think about how like I know these people, and I know their families, I know their parents, I know their siblings. I think about how those people are going to be in my life forever, the way their parents know my parents, and they talk exclusively, and they have their own friendships. I think of Georgia, who I met when I was like 7 or 8. I've known for like a decade at least, and we've been doing shows together for just about that long. And then I think of friends that I met later in life, like in high school, through drama, or through classes, or some other clubs, or just in passing, who maybe I've met their parents, maybe I actually know their parents, but their parents have only met my parents once or twice. People you don't know that well because you've met them less time ago. And then I think about college. Maybe I've met their parents over FaceTime, but I feel close to my college friends in a different way because I feel a lot more grown now than I did when I became friends with Jack in 2016 or Georgia when I was 8. It feels different to know my college friends now. And so I just think about those relationships, and I think about how they're all important to me, but they're all important to me in different ways. And I really care about those people, and I really value those people. And my close friends are like people in my heart that I really think about a lot because pivoting. Romantic relationships are not something at this point in my life that take up a lot of space in my head. I'm just not a fan of them right now. For me, at 20 years old, Because throughout high school, I don't know, I've always just been kind of the person. I've always been the kind of gay person that a lot of boys, not all boys, obviously, I can pull. I'm not saying that because I am beautiful, but there weren't like a lot of options for me in the South. I do think that this lack of option led me to hyper fixate on certain people that maybe didn't deserve all of the attention and care and thought and space in my life that they got. Maybe they didn't deserve that. Maybe just every time that I tried to move on, I went back because I couldn't find anything else and I was lonely. And so at the time, I couldn't break that cycle. And so I just let it go on and like torture myself in like a situationship or a couple different situationships. But there really was one main situationship that I was just like so invested in and I never got what I wanted. In retrospect, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know why I would have done what I did. But back then it made sense. Back then I thought it was necessary to do the things. I don't even want to go into depth about the lengths that I went, just, the mental gymnastics of it all, some of the physical things, the lengths that I went to try to make somebody care about me that didn't want to care about me. And I'm like, maybe if there were more options, maybe if I wasn't pigeonholed in the South as a femme queer black person, maybe it would have been different for me. Because I, pined after these people, but I was simultaneously investing a lot of my self-worth in these situations that weren't working out. And so when they weren't working out, it wasn't just that they weren't working out, it was also that I was the problem and that I couldn't make it work and it was me. And I never was like, well, maybe they just don't like me. And I always thought I was doing too much, but if I didn't do enough, then they wouldn't contact me first. It was just a mess. That happened a couple of times, and not one of those situationships ended well. Not one of them. And so at this point in my life, I just cannot feel like I see somebody who is on the level that I am in my brain. Not even like a status thing, a money thing. It's like, I feel like we don't see each other. We don't see each other. Candy bars, Nene leaks, they see each other. Oh, they actually do see that. We see each other. Well, we don't see each other. I'm flip it, reverse it. We don't see each other, dog. We don't see each other. And so at 20 years old, I am busy. I got stuff to do. I'm trying to make moves and I'm trying to be poppin', you know what I mean? Like flashing lights, my name in lights, diva. Like, bitch, I don't have time for these boys. They don't act right. And I'm too fabulous for them. And I refuse to diminish anything about me or my self-expression for a nigga because he feels insecure. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening, diva. It's not happening. Back then, I would have did it. Back then, I did do it. Right now, I won't do it. I'm not wasting any more time on boys. I am investing in myself, all my time, energy, and all my care in Kobe. Kobe. That's a bad bitch. All them niggas trying to holler. That's a bad bitch. Hey, Kobe. That's a bad bitch. Yeah, that's right. I don't give a fuck, dog. You know what I mean? And I'm like, don't give a fuck either if you don't want to. So, some people are in happy relationships and are like, okay, but I'm saying, like, if you're like me and you've always been pining, I'm really kind of talking to queer people. I feel like we have different experiences. We've grown up differently. I mean, yeah, I dated a girl in middle school. I dated a girl or two in high school. I dated a girl or two, but that wasn't like real to me, unfortunately. Like, even back then, I wasn't really like feeling it. And I hate that I even like used or manipulated those people like that because like I always knew that I liked boys. I was just trying to be different, And so on one hand, I felt like I had to do that, but on another hand, it was fucked up that I did that. And so I actually tried to apologize to all those people. Of course, it was a circumstance that I was kind of put in. I didn't really have a choice. I mean, I did have a choice in dating them, but I didn't really have a choice of like the uncomfortable, like denying who you are circumstance. And so my way of coping with it was trying to deny it for a long time. I actually thought I was going to pretend to be straight forever. I've never actually had a boyfriend. A real boyfriend. Somebody I said, hey, this is so-and-so and they are my boyfriend. I've never had that. Not one time in my life. I've had 1.5 million situationships, but I have never brought anybody home. I've never had that. And straight people have been bringing home boys since middle school, Or maybe they weren't allowed to date until they were 16 or 18 or whatever, and there's other special circumstances. But I'm saying straight people have been able to look around and have tons of options of people to date or slide and not date. But there's been tons of options forever. I'm so stunted by my queer experience as a closeted queer person in the South with this many options. It's a different experience. We grew up differently. That's what I mean when I say that. And so at this point, I don't tolerate the way these people behave. I genuinely have not found somebody who I've been interested in giving all of my time to. And it's not a testament to the boys all the time. Sometimes it's a testament to me, because I've been in a couple situations that were really close to something where I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this. And it's almost because I was like, this is good, but I still want my time. It was almost like, this is good, but it's not good enough for me to justify the amount of time I would have to give you to make this a thing. Like, at this stage of my life, I just don't want to do that. And it's not like I avoid relationships because I want to go sleep around with a bunch of people, because I don't do that either. I am busy with myself, with my activities, with my hobbies, with the stuff I have to do. And I understand that we all have different experiences. I understand a lot of you are in relationships. Maybe you're like, oh, this is confusing for me to listen to. And that's valid, of course. Everybody's experience is valid. But this is just how I feel about it based on my queer experience. I think a lot of queer people might understand what I'm saying. I think maybe if you're not a queer person, you don't get this. But I think if you're a queer person who has never felt desired or wanted because you're feminine, maybe, like me, I think you might get what I'm saying. It's not always been great for us. And I love that nowadays a lot more of us are being who we are. Every day I feel like I become more who I am. Miley Cyrus said this thing one time. She says goodbye to herself before she goes to bed because she wakes up a new person the next day. She's a new person every single day, and so every single night she says goodbye to who she was that day. I understand what she's saying, but I feel that in my own way. I become more myself every day. I become more free every day because there's something every day that I decide I'm going to let go of, something that I've held on to for years. I love being a person, and I love my life, and I'm so happy for a lot of the things that have happened to me, but a lot of them weren't great. You know, a lot of my circumstances weren't perfect, and I know that's the case for a lot of us, and I know that we all have our struggles. But speaking to my experience, a lot of it was related to my queer identity, which is not something that everyone can speak to, but I know it's something that a lot of you can speak to. And I hope that if you can understand what I'm saying, you do understand what I'm saying. Because it's hard. How I coped with that is letting go of it. I can't be a part of the dating app boy culture anymore. I can't do it right now. If something happens for me, it will happen organically, like it does in a Lifetime movie, bitch, because I am not pursuing boys. I don't give a fuck. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I'm having fun on the podcast today. I'm just over boys. Boys. They aren't worth shit. These boys ain't shit. It's a music montage right now. This is like a VMA's performance. Greatest hits of like hits of the 2010. I don't know. I say all of this to say, all of this goofy shit. For me, I have put the value of relationships of my life in my friends. So I love my friends. I have never, well, it's not that I've never. I used to feel it necessary to invest time in boys. The people that I love, my close friends, my parents, that's who I want to give my time to. My jobs, that's what I want to give my time to. That's how I want to spend my time. I'm trying to make stuff happen. I'm really not interested in anything, anyone. I'm cool. I'm good. And that's just how I feel about it. But I love my friends, and I'll do anything for them. Anything for my friends. I love my friends so much. I feel like this mic is too low and making me hunch, but goddamn, it will fall over if you fucking breathe too much. Jeez. I'm just trying to look cute with my new background with Prince and Harry and Z and Bimini and Aretha and Miley and Cher. You can't see her head though. And me. That's me. Lil Nas. Me again. The Divas. Some books. A CD player. There's supposed to be some books here too. It's hiding my rainbow loom, but the books are under the laptop with the, see what I told you about this mic stand, y'all. This is crazy. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. It was good to talk to you today. It was good to kind of vent, be myself a little bit more. It's been 2 weeks since I posted a podcast episode, and I was kind of getting stuck already. I'm like, damn, 4 episodes in, I don't know what to talk about. But I realized it was just kind of, it seemed like I was making like an informative podcast or something. I don't know. It just felt kind of funny to me. So I was like, let me try to like loosen up a little bit this week and act how I act with my friends. It's very on topic. So we'll see how it turns out in the edit. Oh my gosh, this mic stand. I got to get off here because now I won't even stand up. I love you even if I don't know you. And I love you for listening or watching. If you might be watching on Spotify or YouTube, you might be listening on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Apple Podcasts. And if you are, I'm so excited. I love you so much. Thank you for watching, listening to the KOBLIZZY show. And I will talk to you next time. And I will post that bonus episode, I promise. I don't know when, but I'm going to post it. I promise. Scout's honor. I don't know what the hand signal is. Jesus Christ. Oh, the recording is going? There was just this gigantic ass bug over there. I have to take my CBD.